Welcome to my views and news. Breaking news for you from Sudanese capital Khartoum. What is happening in Khartoum? Airstrikes being reported. Heavy clashes in Khartoum, Sudanese capital. Sudanese military is fighting RSF, fighting ongoing near presidential palace, near Khartoum airport, near army's headquarters. RSF issued a statement. Hamati talked to Al Jazeera a few minutes ago. Burhan's Sudanese armed forces spoke as well. What is happening in Sudan? Is the country now edging towards a new civil war? Just a brief background for you. In 2019, Omar al-Bashir, long-time Sudanese ruler, was removed from power. Sudanese army, led by Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and rapid support forces, which are basically militias, paramilitary forces, previously called Janjaweed fighters, shared power with FFC, Forces for Freedom and Change. A transitional setup was made. Al-Burhan was made head of Sudan's Sovereignty Council. Hamdan Dagalo, head of Rapid Support Force, Janjaweed Fighters, RSF, became deputy head of the Sovereignty Council. Civilian members were there, and a Prime Minister was also appointed. Now, the task of this setup, transitional setup, was to take the country to election through transition towards election and formation of military. Military with participation of soldiers and these RSF members, Rapid Support Force members led by Hamati. But the transition did not go well. I wouldn't speak much in this video about involvement of regional international players in this conflict, though we know that several players are involved in the ongoing conflict in Sudan. Eritrea, Ethiopia has interest to Middle Eastern countries, Russia to US, Europe, Saudi Arabia. But in some separate, we will try to analyze the involvement of foreign actors. Now, the country was on its way through transition to election, but transition failed. In 2021, October 2021, Sudanese army chief, head of Sovereignty Council, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, staged a coup. Prime Minister was removed. He was put under house arrest. Later, he was reinstated after signing a deal with military, but he resigned. Meanwhile, a civilian faction of Forces of Freedom and Change, FFC, kept on protesting against Sudanese military. Some agreements were reached, and a key agreement between the military and civilian factions was going to be signed in a few days ago. All preparations had been made. It was being hoped that in April the agreement could be signed, leading the country towards holding of next election to established democratic institutions in Sudan. But before that, we saw flare-up of tensions between Sudanese military, led by Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and Hamdan Dagalo, also called Hamati, head of Rapid Support Forces. Last month, Hamati's Rapid Support Forces started entering Khartoum, Sudanese capital. Sudanese army warned against the entry of Rapid Support Forces, but RSF fighters kept on taking positions in the capital city, Sudanese capital Khartoum. There were some efforts to mediate between the military and RSF. Jibril Ibrahim, former Sudanese finance minister, Minnawi, Darfur governor, and Malik Agar, member of Sudan Sovereignty Council, tried to mediate, but stalemate persisted. RSF wanted that its members are made part of the military, and military is not led by Abdul Fattah al-Burhan. Burhan was not ready to relinquish power as military chief. So, standoff continued. International players were warning that there could be civil war, there could be direct confrontation between RSF, Janjaweed fighters, and Sudan military in Khartoum, and that is what happened this morning. This morning, Rapid Support Forces (RSF), led by Hamdan Dagalo, launched multiple attacks on key strategic places in Khartoum city. The places are Presidential Palace, firstly. Secondly, Khartoum Airport. Thirdly, military's headquarters, State TV in neighboring Omdurman too, and several other strategic sites are now the target of RSF attack. These minutes, I'm recording this video, heavy fighting is ongoing for the control of Khartoum Airport, Presidential Palace, Army's headquarters, and the Sudanese military is conducting airstrikes on RSF bases. Two RSF bases have been attacked by Sudanese military, Soba, and another one. Two have been attacked by the Sudanese army, and RSF members are claiming to be in control of two military bases in Khartoum. Firstly, Mirawi, secondly, Al Ubaid. RSF fighters have shared a video from Mirawi, that Mirawi Air Force base of the army is under the control of RSF fighters. So you can see what is happening. The RSF chief, Hamati, talked to Al Jazeera a few minutes ago, and he said that he will continue the fight until all military bases come under the control of RSF fighters. He called Burhan criminal. He said Burhan was obstacle to peace and stability in the country. Sudanese military SAF, on the other hand, is saying that a coup has happened. A coup is being staged by RSF against Sudanese government, against Sudanese military. Hamati's fighters are now trying to spread in the entire capital city. Now street fighting is ongoing. Urban combat is being seen. Urban combat, clashes near main strategic sites in Khartoum, airstrikes from the air by Sudanese army on RSF. That is what is happening these minutes in Sudanese capital Khartoum. No signs of any de-escalation so far. International community is calling for calm. Antony Blinken a few minutes ago spoke, and he is accusing some foreign elements who are trying to instigate the conflict. Who is backing Hamati? Question is, this sudden attack, not sudden because everyone knew that RSF fighters were entering Khartoum, but someone is behind Hamati, Hamdan Dagalo. Which countries were visited by Hamdan Dagalo in the last few months? I remember he was in Eritrea almost a month ago, more than a month ago. Before that, he was in Ethiopia. He was seen with PM Abiy. He's close to Ethiopian PM Abiy, and he visited Russia too, reportedly a few months ago. He's a wealthy man. He's in charge of all gold business in Sudan. Sudanese military is a powerful institution running businesses, very powerful. Rapid Support Force led by Hamati has also increased its wealth, its influence, its power in recent months. That is why a head-on collision between these two security players has started in the capital. Where is FFC? Civilian faction which has been struggling for democratic reforms in the country, which protested and al-Bashir was removed from power. FFC is hoping that one day agreement will be ratified by all the players for holding of free and fair elections in Sudan. Is it possible? Is free fair election possible in this situation where these security institutions have tremendous influence in Sudan? Saudi Arabia has its presence and some other countries too in Sudan. Saudi Arabia has been trying to mediate between Hamdan Dagalo and army chief Abdul Fattah al-Burhan, but mediation did not succeed. Now we have some clips for you. First one shows the arrival of RSF fighters at Khartoum airport. For the control of airport, fighting is ongoing. All flight operations have been suspended. Secondly, we have a clip for you of RSF fighters from Miravi Air Force Base of Sudanese military. The base under the control of RSF fighters. Thirdly, a clip showing military planes flying over Khartoum. They are conducting airstrikes. Watch the three clips. We'll try to keep you updated about this ongoing start of civil war in Sudanese capital Khartoum. So far, fighting clashes are only in Khartoum, but this war could spread. Watch the three clips. Thank you for watching.